God.
Justin, we're doing your favorite thing. It's the thing. It's your favorite.
What is happening?
Going monkey mode.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, maybe these listeners don't know, but there was that one week that I went feral as a dog, and now Justin's turning into a primate. So Christian, if anything, you need to I don't know.
I get my head in the
something?
game, I guess. I don't know.
Facts.
Got to get your head in the game. Is that on this list? We
No.
did.
That was the year
Wait, that's
before.
not on this list, but we did it.
The year before.
Wow, I already found a loophole in the fucking.
Okay, so for the listeners, if you didn't realize, based off of what you clicked on, this is a movies tier list for all of the movies that we watched in 2024.
Which is crazy because there's a lot more than I thought there would be.
There are 29 movies on this
My
list
God.
for a majority of this year. Basically, the entire thing sans, I think, December. We had at least 2 people funding us at the highest tier on our Patreon.
That's true.
So, and for some of those months, there were 3, which is nuts. You guys are crazy. So thank you for all of the support. This is going to be a love letter to some of you and a shit on your doorstep to some others. Sometimes in certain situations, you may be both. I don't know how this. I mean, I kind of have an idea how this is going to turn out because I have watched all of these movies. However, my cohorts here have not necessarily seen every single one of these. It's about, for you two, about a 50-50 split. It's not exact, but it's close. And for some of them, especially towards the beginning of the year, I had other co-hosts. Juan, Devin were on for, I think, at least one of these. And I had Jordy for Gremlins at the end of the year. But otherwise, I'm mainly working with you two. So I'm going to lean on you guys to weigh in on some of these here, of course. That's why you're here. Otherwise, what fun would it be if I just told you what all my favorite movies were? That's boring.
Oh, man, I thought I was just going to watch you make this tier list.
Now you have us to drag you down.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So
now you have me to put Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey
at the second highest tier because it's a banger.
It's not going to happen, audience. Yeah, it's not going to happen, audience.
Well,
speaking of the tier list, we have your standard issue. I assume 5 tiered tier list. I think that's probably standard issue, right? 5 tiers.
Yeah,
probably
yeah. Most tier lists have 5 tiers for sure. Yeah.
So we got a 5-tier tier list here, and from the top, the highest tier, we've got the pasta pieces, straight fire, nothing but gravy on these chef's fucking kiss movies. All right. Next up below that, we got certified bangers. They're good. We love them. I enjoy these movies.
Rewatches.
We enjoy these movies. They're up for rewatches. Absolutely. Next, we've got probably Taco's recommendation.
That's tier number 3.
at the middle of the road tier. This is going to be for if you listened to a lot of these movie reviews that we did over the last year. You will probably find that Taco is really good at recommending movies that I find to be like just good, but that's okay. Somebody's got to make these kinds of movies, and they're still good movies. That's not to say Taco didn't also recommend some bangers because he's got some good ones in there too. But Taco was really good at finding movies that were just like dead on, like anyone can probably enjoy these, and it can go either way on your enjoyment, whether you like it or not. So that's where we've got that. Next, 4th tier, we've got musicals and Friends.
Which a fucking slap in the fucking face, by the way.
So
whatever, man.
Again, if you've been listening, you should not be surprised that I'm not generally a fan of musicals. But again, like Taco's recommendations, they are open for being above or below the musicals and Friends tiers. Of course, it can't just be a musical tier because there will be other movies that end up here.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's generally how I feel. And, that's really why Brendan's here, to make sure that these musicals get their fair shake. Because if it was up to me, they'd probably all be in I'd probably have a 6th tier that I just called Oklahoma or something. And then it would just all of them would go there.
Calling the last tier Oklahoma would have been good, to be honest.
I thought about it. But I also, like we did with the villains tier list on Opwall, I might just, like we did the Wapple tier, I might just Oklahoma. But we'll see. We'll see
how we get.
The last tier, the bottom of the bottom is who funded this garbage. Worthless movies, not worth the time. I want my time and the money, energy cost that it took to stream these movies. I want it all back. Every aspect
I want
of
everything
it.
back.
Every aspect it took to watch the movie.
I want to refund our Patreon. Wait. Maybe
hold on. No, that's not. That's the one thing I don't want back.
You know what I want? I want a letter from these movie producers to my job explaining why I was late, because I had to waste time watching this movie.
Yes, exactly that.
Oh,
all right. So with that being said, we are going to dive right in. I've organized the movies here for us from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. So beautiful. We can go in order. If you guys feel like you really want to talk about one in particular, we can always skip around. But for now, I'm just going to follow the year, the time that we went through. And we're going to start off.
I'm ready for the order.
We're going to start off with Godzilla, which,
I wasn't here for Godzilla, but I did watch it with you guys. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make that recording. I did watch the movie, but I did not commentate on it with you guys.
Yeah, I also just want to say before we get into each movie, this Godzilla is the only one actually on this list that was not given to us by a Patreon producer. This one came to us via our intern Gabriel on the Discord. Once upon a time, to refresh your two memories, he got us a collaboration with a little One Piece creator by the name of Tekking.
Yeah,
and as a thanks to Gabriel for that, we let him choose a movie for us to recommend for Patreon. For Patreon Panda View. And he chose Godzilla. So so that's what we watched that time. And I had Juan and Devin on with me for that one, both of which cannot make this recording, unfortunately, to help out here. But I know they both liked it. And I like Godzilla. Godzilla was a great start to this gigantic monster universe that we've got going on here. Bryan Cranston. Love that man, even though he's in the movie for like 20 minutes.
An early movie in Elizabeth Olsen's career.
Yeah, good time. Got 2014, I think this Godzilla was 2014, something like that.
I believe so. Yes.
Fun time. I'm just gonna. We can feel free to argue about this, but I'm gonna throw it in the certified banger tier right off the bat.
No notes whatsoever. Absolutely, I would rewatch that in a heartbeat.
I have never seen this. And I have really no opinions, unfortunately. However, I will say that if both Devin and Juan, because I remember the episode vaguely in my brain listening to it, they both liked it. And for them to like a Godzilla movie produced in the US, because we both know how bad those go sometimes, it has to be good. So I have no objections.
Okay. I will say... I think you were gonna beat me to the punch. I was just gonna say my guess is that this is not going to be the highest ranked on the certified banger tier, but it belongs there nonetheless.
No, yeah, we will organize them within the tiers. That was not what I was gonna say, but I think you're correct. It's probably not gonna end up being the certified banger top. What I was going to say was that Devin actually I think is the biggest Godzilla nerd out of any of us here, and talked at length about a lot of the other versions of Godzilla. And while he enjoys some of the other movies more, especially there was Godzilla 0, I think, that had just released somewhat recently.
Minus one.
That was it. Minus one had released somewhat recently when we did this review, I think.
Yes.
And I remember him really enjoying minus one. But so this Godzilla is to say not necessarily the top of Devin's list, but was good for him. And so certified banger feels good. I like this. I'm here for it. I'm starting off strong. Next, we've got on the list, we've got Back to the Future.
Oh, baby.
And this was given to us by Twiggo way back in the day.
I'm already all right. So Back to the Future, fantastic movie. I would rewatch it all the fucking time. But I gotta be a little real. Is it truly pasta piece? I'm like rerunning it in the back of my brain. I feel like the answer is yes. But back of my brain, I feel like the answer is yes. Even though we're already here, we're 2 movies in, and two are in the upper 80 percentile. I really feel like it's a pasta piece flick. I don't think it's going to be the top of the list, but I think for me, Back to the Future, time and time again, pasta piece. Mwah.
Justin, you haven't seen Back to the Future?
No.
Oh, I mean,
this guy's a fucking
really.
crazy.
I mean, I'm not necessarily one to talk. There's plenty of mainstream movies that I haven't seen either. I mean, most of this list is movies I had not seen. Would I call most of these mainstream though? Probably not, but Holes mainstream, the Blues Brothers mainstream, Back to the Future obviously mainstream.
Not seeing Holes is crazy. I'm sorry. Did you say you didn't see Holes? I forgot that was a thing.
I had seen Holes. I'm saying which of these are like mainstream movies, that most people would have seen. Holes is up there. Back to the Future, Godzilla. These are like people have seen these, but there are plenty of other movies that I have not seen that people would go like, what? So I'm going, what now? Because it means you don't get it. You don't get to have any input here, or as much anyway. But
that's gonna be me for the majority of the tier list. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Well, I mean, again, you've seen like half of these movies with me.
For the tier list, I would be like, I have not seen no thoughts and opinions.
Yeah. Back to the Future, I think. Oh, it's tough.
It is a little tough.
It is. Back to the Future pasta. I feel as though I think Back to the Future is pasta, but it'll probably end up being closer to the end of it out of any of these. But I think Back to the Future is pasta, so I'm gonna put it in the pasta tier.
I agree with this assessment. Fantastic. I'm glad we're 2 and we're here.
All right, perfect. That's where it'll live for now. Next up on the list, we've got Snatch. Came to us via Taco. Justin, I did this one with you.
I actually really enjoyed it. Hold on. This is the one without what's the super famous guy?
This one does have Brad Pitt.
It does.
This one does have Brad Pitt.
Okay, this is Brad Pitt. Yep.
Okay. So I now need to reconsider my thoughts.
Oh, okay. You were thinking of Lock, Stock.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. To refresh you, maybe, I don't know how much of the plot you specifically remember, but Snatch is the one about like the underground boxing, and the Mickey, who is Brad Pitt's character, is a reluctant participant, but chooses to when
I liked the movie, but I didn't love it, and so I'm not sure if Snatch is like low certified banger or probably a taco wreck. This is.
I feel like I know where I would put this movie, and I've seen it.
Christian, what say you?
I think that this film is a solid, probably tacos wreck.
Yeah. I think you're probably right.
This is a solid. This is
where it all started.
It's not where it all started, but
this
is where
the tier started.
This is the poster child for what probably a taco wreck.
No, but like actually, I think this is the, like, out of anything Taco did actually give us this year, I think this might actually be the most taco wreck.
I agree with that assessment.
There are others that will go in the taco wreck that are below Snatch, but I feel as though that this is a quintessential taco recommendation for sure. That being said, great, love it. We're moving on to the next one. We've got
brother,
Hamilton, Brendan.
It gives me life just hearing you utter that fucking name.
Remind the folks at home your stance on Hamilton.
Okay, people, I find Hamilton to be one of the most fantastic, gripping, and well-written stories of all time, let alone fucking musicals. And it's a banger fucking musical, brothers and sisters. I Christian, you don't have to let me strong arm you here. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you. I think this is going to be my entire top for the evening. This is Pasta Piece.
This is Pasta Piece number one.
I put it above Back to the Future. Like that's my take. You can leave it, but that's my take. Now we can meet in the middle somewhere, but I cannot in good conscience be disingenuous with you and not tell you this is probably my top movie of this list. Top experience in this list.
That does not surprise me in the least. I knew this. I knew this going in, and to remind the audience, or let the audience know my own stance on Hamilton. It is musical. First of all, I would highly encourage you to go watch the episode, listen to the episode, because that was actually, despite it being musical, and I know what I prefaced this entire tier list with, despite it being a musical, I did enjoy watching Hamilton, all 2 hours and 45 minutes of it, or whatever it was.
It feels so good to hear again.
I did enjoy my Hamilton time. Recording that episode with Brendan was good. And of the films on this list, it is probably one of two, maybe three, that actually surprised me in a good way. I, however, cannot meet you at the pasta tier. I just gotta be honest. I can't meet you at the pasta tier.
That's brazen. How you can't take this from me.
It was good, but I still had my own personal problems with it. I'll rehashing very little bit of the episode. There's the whole last, I don't know, maybe 30, 45 minutes of the show
that I politics, right?
There's just a little too much of the politics end of things.
Typical
where
Zillennial,
we're just
am I right, folks?
That's right.
Fucking hates politics.
That's right. Can't stand it. I avoided it in my media at all costs. No, I'm kidding. I just don't. That combined with the musical aspect of it, I can meet you at certified banger tier, but I can't put it in pasta. I'm sorry.
All right. Can we at least put it above Godzilla for now?
It can definitely go above Godzilla for now. Yeah.
I can hear an angry mob outside screaming your name.
It's fine. The compromise is necessary in life and with friends and family alike. All right. At some point in time, you're going to return to Hamilton. Mark my words, Christian. One day, everything about this show will fucking click for you, and you're going to be like, "Wow, I was a fucking moron." I'm just kidding.
And you know what? If that ever happens, then maybe we do a tier list revisit one day. If I get enough differing opinions on a couple of these movies, then
you just put fucking Whitebeard in the second tier. That's what you just fucking did to
me. All right, so the second of the musical trilogy journey that me and Brendan went on, Legally Blonde the musical.
Oh boy!
Up next came to us via Rin. I don't think I think I neglected to mention that Hamilton came to us via Twigo that month.
Yes. Yes, Twigo recommended Hamilton, and I couldn't have been happier back in those days.
Yes.
But we did also get Legally Blonde from Rin.
We did.
Ooh, Christian, do you want to? You want to? I gave my initial thoughts last time. Do you want to go? Do you want to take the floor here first?
Yeah, Legally Blonde was that was a musical.
That's your quintessential musical.
That is we watched a bunch of musicals this year, much to my chagrin. Some more musical than others. Legally Blonde, the most musical of them all, because this is just what we watched is just a straight recording of an actual stage performance. Not like a movie a stage play adapted into movie format. This is just a straight recording of people acting on stage. And you could feel free to tell me whatever you want right now, and maybe we can argue about it. But I'm throwing it in musicals and Friends because this is what the tier was made for. Basically, was Legally Blonde musical.
Folks, he didn't even give me the rebuttal. He just put it in musicals and Friends.
I mean, you're free to rebut, and we can argue it. I'm just gonna slap it in there for the viewing pleasure.
I think I really enjoyed this. But I do. Okay, so where I would find Hamilton to be an extremely fantastic, complete picture, I sort of try to find that foresight in the genre of musical. And that's where I find so much praise for something like Hamilton for being so different and still being so well-rounded. Legally Blonde is definitely a musical, which not many people like. I feel like this is a reasonable position for Legally Blonde.
Okay.
I would agree. This is definitely like what this tier is made for. I would still say I like to watch Legally Blonde more than probably other movies that are going to end up higher than it. But also I'm me, and that's a little unfair.
Yeah. Justin, any thoughts? Legally Blonde musical?
It's a musical.
It is a musical.
Honestly, this is possibly being rated higher than I thought you guys were going to say.
Oh, no, he likes this.
No, I do like it. I thought it's fun. I love the movie, to be fair. And the musical, I just think, is the movie with music. So I can't hate it.
Yeah, if this was up to Brendan, it'd probably be at Taco's Wreck tier.
At least, yes. If it was my, but I'm happy to leave it. I'm gonna try to argue for it to be like in the high end of musical friends, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So rounding out the musical trilogy that adventure that me and Brendan went on is another recommendation from Rin that came via the next month, but I slapped it up against Legally Blonde and Hamilton for the bit. It's Oklahoma.
It's Oklahoma. All right, Christian, we don't even need to discuss. I am happy. Yeah, we can put it in who funded this garbage.
This movie sucked ass. I hated basically every second of my life watching this.
Oh man, go ahead.
No, I was just saying this is one of those movies that I want a refund on everything for. I want my time. I want the energy cost. I want my years back. All of it.
I don't quite hate it as much as Christian does, but I admit it's dated. I like musicals. I don't love Oklahoma, so that are like when I don't like it that much, it's kind of cooked. And I only really like 4 songs in the whole show, of which there is a over 2.5 hour runtime. So there's a lot of like in between time that I don't necessarily care about.
Mm-hmm.
We can put it on who funded this garbage. I'm fine with that.
Right.
I know my audience here.
Perfect. Because it wasn't gonna move.
It wasn't. You're like I'm gonna be honest with you, Brendan. It wasn't going anywhere.
You had the illusion of choice on this one. All right.
Well,
let's get Justin back in on the action with the next movie that came to us via Twiggo in the same month that I got to watch Hot Garbage, Oklahoma. I got to experience the Iron Claw with
dude,
Justin.
What a film.
I actually didn't know that you guys,
disaster of a film.
I had no idea you guys had never seen that movie before you did the Panda View together. I was like, oh, you guys didn't see it yet.
No. I had heard the stories, but I had not gotten to the theater to see it in time.
I wanted to watch it, and I just never got around to doing it. I may have heard a podcast or two of people responding to it. I don't remember. And I think I have to listen back to our Panda View episode, maybe like recall my own thoughts. I think I remember not having like a clear read on what the social perception of the movie was. Like I wasn't hearing yay or nay in either direction like super strongly. Bro, this movie is one very good from just like a cinematic point of view, like just like camera work, writing, this, that, and the other. Was it Kevin? No, Lacey? God, I'm forgetting all the brothers now. One of the Von Erichs, whichever brother is currently still around with his sons. He was the production of the movie like tagged him in as like, hey, like, is this appropriate? Is this accurate? This and the other, that kind of stuff. I think the movie's better off for it. And then I cried a lot. My feelings were hurt with this movie.
Yeah.
A lot. There is so much tragedy in that family's lineage in this movie and everything. But brother, I enjoyed every minute of this movie. This is a pasta piece. I'm not sure if I would necessarily rewatch it because this is a tough watch, being perfectly honest. But this movie's great. You got Zac Efron, who is surprisingly amazing lead. Jeremy Allen White from The Bear is also in here. Great. Every other actor and actress. Shout out to God, what's her name? What's the wife's name?
Oh, her real name?
Yes. Well, not the actress,
I
but
don't know.
the
She was in
character she's
Mamma Mia
portraying.
too.
The actress's name is Lily James.
Lily James. And Lily James portrays what's his woman's name?
Oh, shit.
God, I wish I remember which brother to knew. Was it Kevin Von Erich?
Kevin is the one who is alive. Yes.
Kevin Von Erich.
Damn.
Pam. But
Pam.
also, what do they call that in the movie? I feel like I had given a name for. Anyway, Pam. Shout out to Pam, bro. Pam, ride or die, #1 homie. We love her.
That's a strong woman. Brendan, you've seen this film also.
I have. I would be remiss if I didn't say that it belonged to Pasta Piece, but I want to preface. So I was not there for the recording. I couldn't make it, but yeah, this is like the best movie I never want to see again. I saw this on Christmas Day in the theaters,
brother.
because we always go to my mom, fun fact, her birthday is Christmas, and we always do a movie on her birthday after we do the presents thing, and it was my sister that was like, oh, we should go see the Iron Claw. It's really good.
No.
To her credit, she was right. It was really good. Just also really fucking sad.
What were the vibes
So
like after the movie?
We all had the same opinion, except my sister, who was like, I'm really glad we saw that. And then me and my mom are like, listen, it was good, but that was really not the movie we should watch. I mean, it's a great movie. It's a fantastic story, incredible direction, character development. I loved it. But fuck, dude, it's like it rips your fucking heart out.
That's incredible.
It definitely does do that. And for the record, I agree. I think that this is straight pasta. I'm gonna put this above Back to the Future in the tier list. The Iron Claw took me. I knew this was a sad movie going in. I was not prepared for exactly the depth of emotion that was going to be evoked from me while watching that film. I cried at least on two separate occasions in the last 15 minutes of that film. It was insane. I agree with Brendan. This is the best movie that I probably never want to watch again. I will watch it again if somebody tells me they haven't seen it, but they want to watch it. I will absolutely cry to this movie again.
I will 100% agree, and I will tell my friend who's ever watched it, I'm like, listen, I'll watch it with you, but you have to hold my hand. It's like,
you have to hold my hand.
We have to be cuddled under the blanket, and I will accept no other outcome. This movie is incredible. I loved it. It was the best time. And to record it, too.
It was the best of times. It was also the worst of times.
Yeah, another really, really good recording. I enjoyed every single second of talking to you about Iron Claw. So. And revisiting the Von Erich's real backstory and filling in the gaps that the movie doesn't really get into. So now on from that, on the timeline, we've got Crank, which is a recommendation that came to us via Taco. I did this recording with Juan. Before I talk about the film, have either of you seen Crank or know about Crank?
Yes,
it's been a very long time.
I've seen it 2 or 3 times, in fact.
Okay, give me the deets. What are your Crank opinions?
13-year-old me thinks it's a really good movie.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
And that's yeah. I am no longer 13.
So... I have not watched this movie in a long time. If I watched it today, I would probably say this is like. I would say like as a movie, like it's like on the real, I'd be like, man, this is probably mid to like lower, but I would outwardly say this is garbage.
Okay.
I listen, this is a 13-year-old's movie. I'm just that's the easiest way to put it. I'm no longer that age. This is. I don't think I could sit through it again. I don't care for it these days.
I don't ever want to see.
It was really good when I was a child.
I never want to see Jason Statham have sex in the middle of the street ever again, just to keep his heart going.
Yeah, among other things that.
Okay,
so Jordy actually put this fucking movie on when we were hanging out one time in one of our gatherings. Did you know that?
Did he? I don't remember that.
He absolutely, this happened when we. I think you remember. in the place that we were all together. At one point when we were partying, Jordy just kind of fucked off upstairs to for a second and just put on Crank, and I sat down and watched it with him for like 20 minutes.
Oh, wait, was Crank followed by Your Name? Was it that time?
No, I think he no, actually, yeah, I think it was.
What a fucking juxtaposition of movies. Jesus Christ.
Also, what a choice for your emotional support movie when you need to decompress your social battery and you put on Crank.
Well, I mean, it's to re-energize your social battery.
There was a story we lost out on. Apparently, I assume Jordy loves this movie, probably to this day. I don't know why.
I got to go interrogate this man.
Yeah, I don't.
So anyway, I put this in at least musicals and Friends, and I would put it below Legally Blonde, but that's just me.
I have no disagreements.
Okay.
If I had it my way, I'd put it down more.
I mean, I'll put it further down. I just don't want to be that guy. I mean,
no, I think it definitely. I think musicals and Friends is a fair tier. I have a personal bias in that I would put it above Legally Blonde personally. I would definitely rewatch Crank before Legally Blonde the musical. Is my only metric here.
Honestly, I feel like same, but that's rough.
It is rough.
That's a rough thing to admit.
If you put a gun to my head and told me to choose, I would choose Crank 110 times out of 1.
Right, but if you put a gun to my head, I would choose Legally Blonde 10 out of 10 times. So we both got a bias, Christian.
I know, and that's why Justin is here to break the tie. So Justin, where does Crank go? Above or below Legally Blonde?
Oh, dude, I'm the tiebreaker. It's going below Legally Blonde.
Oh yes!
No, that's good for you. That's good for you. All right. Wow. Okay. All right.
Everybody loved that.
Okay. All right. Crank on the list. Now we've got something else that I enjoyed my time with Justin on. This is The Menu, which was given to us by Rin, but actually her Discord shadow, Rara, as that month she was lacking in suggestions. So we did The Menu.
Ooh.
And I want to instinctively say this is a pasta piece because I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's very creative.
Wow.
I like what it says about, restaurant industry and surrounding things to it. But I'm not sure if that's me being 100% honest with myself. Like, is it a pasta piece? Because is it? I feel like it is, but maybe it's not. Maybe I'm the problem.
I'm gonna say I disagree. I don't think this is pasta. I think this is a good solid movie. My opinion is that I would put it in banger tier, probably below Godzilla.
Whoa.
I think that the menu is good, and I enjoy the commentary that it has to say about the high-end fancy food industry, and in and of itself it is a good horror thriller film as well. I might just be a sucker for giant monsters doing giant monster things. I think that could definitely be the case. I can be swayed up to go above, but for now that's my opinion. Brendan, have you seen The Menu?
I've seen only the first 35 minutes.
That's rough.
I have not seen the entire thing, but I did listen to your guys' podcast episode, so I kind of, it's basically like I watched the whole movie. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you've basically seen the whole thing.
Just based on the 35 minutes that I was exposed to, I feel I would leverage towards Christian, but I don't know. Does my vote really matter here? I can't say I've truly seen the movie.
Justin, do you feel so strongly that it should be above Godzilla? What do you say to that?
I think I do. And it doesn't feel fair to Godzilla because I haven't seen this one. But I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I may not be able to convince myself it's a pasta piece. But if I had it my way, I would put it like top of certified banger currently. Like above Hamilton.
No, that can't be done. So I think we should put it between. I think we should put it between Hamilton and Godzilla. There's a compromise here.
I can do that. If I would probably on a normal basis also put this above Hamilton, but because of how the shock factor Hamilton was for me, I'm keeping Hamilton where it is.
Hamilton was an experience for you.
Hamilton was truly an experience. So I'm fine with this. The Menu between Godzilla and Hamilton, I'm here for it. So we move on then to another episode that I did with Justin. This time, a recommendation from Twiggo. It's The Outsiders, the movie based off of the hit book everyone and their mother read in English class in like 7th to 9th grade.
That's just crazy. Like our education system across this country is anything but standardized. There are different metrics and standards across every city, every state, etc. But everyone in this country has read The Outsiders in middle school, and that's great. I love that for us as a nation.
This is very true.
I think the movie is like good, but like one degree away from good. Like I enjoyed the movie, but my opinion is also like influenced by the book that I really enjoyed. And other things like the star-studded cast of this movie, simplicity of the movie, the emotional weight of Dally's character hitting me in this movie. I enjoyed it. I think it's a good movie, but I also feel like I probably wouldn't put it high on this tier list. Like,
it sounded like your main. It sounding like you're arguing, not even arguing, but saying that this is probably Taco's Wreck.
I'm staring at it and I'm just here like, does it go below that even? Because it's like it's a good movie. I enjoyed the movie. Would I ever watch this again? Probably not. Would I recommend this to people? I'm also not sure.
If I may get to give 2 cents as another of the children that have at one point in time seen this movie due to that English class requirement.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely put this in Musicals and Friends. That's just me personally. I think Outsiders is good, but like it's not the coming of age tale that I think it really needed to be. It never resonated with me as a child. Did I tell you guys I watched the musical with my family when I was visiting New York relatively recently?
How was that? Because the idea of turning that story into a musical, I think, kind of makes me angry. Actually,
it was well. Fuck you, first of all. The second, it was good. I mean, I enjoyed it, but like, I just don't. I don't feel the messaging or the resonation with like the plight of these two factions as much as I think I should have. Like you know what makes something like West Side Story great? The bickering between the Jets and the Sharks is kind of a gag until it isn't. But like the Socs and the whoever the fuck else is in the Outsiders. The Greasers and the Socs, like they make that so real and visceral from the get. And it's just like nonstop real. And maybe that's a really important thing to teach, which is why we covered it in every fucking American English class in this fucking country. I'm not saying it's not an important message, but like, I don't know, man. It wasn't for me. I think that you could learn the same like level of empathy and moral from other stories that are not this.
I feel like the way we kind of felt about Crank, where this is like a 13-year-old's favorite movie, I feel like this is a 13-year-old's like favorite like novel they get in middle school.
I agree with that assessment. Yes.
And the movie has a very similar attachment in my mind where I'm like, listen, I like the movie. It was good. It appeals to a nostalgic being in me. Like, I like it, but I think I agree with Brendan. I feel like it would be properly identified as like Musical and Friends tier.
I think you can put it in the top of Musical and Friends, but that's where my gut is.
I think when this first came up, I was ready to put it in like the bottom of Taco's Wreck tier because I think it is a good movie. And I feel like I remember enjoying parts of it, but a lot of it the movie format is a little outdated, I guess. Which is, it's old. It's an old as shit movie. So I guess I can't argue putting it in Musical and Friends, and I will absolutely slap it above Legally Blonde.
We can all compromise on that. That's totally fine.
This feels right.
Okay, I'm fine with this. This is good to me. All right, excellent. All right, moving on to a movie that I did with Brendan.
Yes.
A recommendation from Taco. It's The Blues Brothers.
Ayo, baby, The Blues Brothers. All right, so this is easily in certified banger tier for me.
Really?
I love this movie. I think it is a lot of fun. The only thing that I think is not as fun is that a couple of the gags don't age very well. The whole Nazi subplot, you could completely like erase the movie and it would just be, and in my personal opinion, it would be an objectively better movie with no Nazi subplot. Although maybe it's topical now. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing, the forest for the trees. I think in my mind, I want it at the bottom of our current certified banger. That's where I want it. Now, if Christian gives that to me, that'll be up to him.
I think the Blues Brothers. I think honestly, I think you nailed it. I think the Blues Brothers goes perfectly at the bottom of certified banger. It is a fun time. It's part musical ish. There's a couple of numbers in there because that's kind of the whole point of the show is getting the band back together. But it's fun. It's goofy. It's based off of other fun and goofy things that already existed in the world and just builds on it in a movie form. I had a good time. And Blues Brothers was one that I had seen in parts before. There were some of it that I hadn't seen. My dad's a huge fan of the Blues Brothers, so I'd seen it intermittently throughout my childhood, but hadn't paid too much attention. But I recognized some of the parts. And of any of the movies that we watched this year, I probably one of the things I always quote just for no reason most of the time is "We're on a mission from God."
We are on a mission from God.
Oh my! That's where that's from. I just remembered you said this to me when you gave me like a Christmas present from a friend or whatever.
Yeah.
I was on a mission from God.
That's where that's from.
I did not make that connection.
Oh, I know. I knew you didn't, but I said it. That one was for me. That one was for Daddy.
I think you also did say that to me in the hallway.
That joke was for Daddy. The Blues Brothers goes to the bottom of certified banger. That movie's great. I would absolutely rewatch it again. I would love to find a Blues Brothers drinking game. That sounds incredible to me.
That sounds good.
Sounds dangerous.
Probably, but I would love that. That would be great. Next on the list is a recommendation that whose monetary donation came to us via Rin, but that month Rin said, "Do whatever you want." So I took that and ran with it right to my sister's front door, and I said, "Tina, pick a movie that you would love to talk about, and we'll record it together," because Rin had no ideas for recording. And I thought it would be fun if I didn't pick the movie still and somebody else did. So my sister picked Stand By Me, the lovely coming of age film. That is her favorite movie. That's why she picked it. And I had also not seen this movie, despite probably it being on in our house a lot, again, given it was her favorite. And I had a good time. I think that this film is worthy of the praise that it gets in general. Is a pretty well-known film, and a lot of the people who like this film generally like it for the same reason. It develops the characters, the four main boys, in a very wholesome way. It's a very in the same way. I shouldn't say the same way. The Iron Claw has a similar theme in the idea of vulnerability in men and expressing that outwardly and not holding that in, because that can be dangerous. Stand By Me is the same, except there's a whole lot less tragedy in it, and it applies more so to young boys learning to do that as they grow. And these four boys share a special bond throughout the film, even though, like, spoilers, I guess, for the end, they end up not being friends in the future for various reasons. But throughout the course of the film, they are shown supporting each other and being emotionally available for each other. And for those reasons, among a few others, I liked this movie a lot more than I thought it would, than I thought I would. So before I rank this, have either of you seen Stand By Me?
No,
I have not. I did listen to your guys' episode, so I guess by proxy, but no, I never watched the film beforehand. No.
Okay.
Same boat. I'm interested in it though. Sound interesting.
It is a fun little film. It's a little outdated, but it has a lot of merit and charm to it. And before I rank it, I have a statement here from the woman herself, Tina. I asked her to give me a statement. for this one. She said, Stand By Me, #1, elite as fuck, no complaints. Best movie of all time. I cry every single time I watch it. Makes me feel good things and makes me think about my life a lot. Fun fact, Gordy LaChance, who plays the main character, was the reason I want to become a writer, even though I've probably said that before.
Whoa.
So as you might imagine, she would want this to be in pasta piece. I like this film. It's really good. I don't think I can call it pasta.
Whoa.
Man, you're really drawing the line on these pastas.
I think...
How are you going to break the news to your sister?
I mean, not even bottom of pasta? You're thinking about
all right,
it.
you sold me. I can put it on bottom pasta. I thought about it. I looked again at the other movies that are in Banger, and I'm like, no, I enjoyed Stand By Me more than all of these films. So I think it's only fair that I put it in pasta.
Yeah, I feel like that's a fine compromise. But also, you could put Hamilton up there too if you.
No, I think
Hamilton's perfect. It's the gatekeeper, bro.
Hamilton works really well as the Cerberus to certified Banger tier.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
All right, perfect, excellent. Now we have lucky number 11, which I did with Brendan, came to us via Taco's recommendation. What do we think of Slevin?
So this is like where my mind's at. This is another movie that I feel like is the poster child for probably Taco's rec, but it's way better than that because it knows exactly what it is, and I feel like that deserves some additional merit. I would put this in certified Banger, and I think maybe just above Blues Brothers, but not above Godzilla. That's kind of where I think so. I don't think it's the bottom of certified Banger. Like, I think it might be a little bit because you know what, Blues Brothers, I do have a single narrative problem with the direction of Blues Brother, even though I had a great time. Lucky Number 11 is a goofy, dumb, hilarious, and just all around good time of a fucking movie that I honestly have no notes in terms of direction. I love that they did everything that they did. I would put it above Blues Brothers in certified Banger. That's my final answer.
Okay, Justin, have you seen Slevin by chance?
No. Excuse me. For a minute I thought I did, and I had to look at the poster like, wait, never mind. Hold on, that's not the movie I'm thinking of.
What did you do? You know what you were thinking of, or it seems very curious to me.
I constantly forget the name of things, so no, I do not.
All right, that's fine. I
just thought I seen it. I was like, do I remember that? Like, is this familiar to me because it just has a funky name and you guys covered it or whatever, or do I remember this because I actually watched it? And I definitely did not watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems interesting.
Slevin was interesting. I'd say that this movie also caught me by surprise in terms of how much I ended up enjoying it. I agree with Brendan in that this movie has every idea of what it is about, and it plays with it well, and even in some cases kind of undercuts what you expect to get out of this film. It's sort of to sort of outline it for you, Justin. It's one of these sort of spy thriller-esque movies, but it's much goofier and comedy style to it than your average one, and also it's got Morgan Freeman in it. If that
it does have Morgan Freeman in it.
It's got Morgan
and Lucy
Freeman.
Liu, right?
And is that?
Yeah, Lucy Liu is the main woman, I thought.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Don't look it up. We're looking at the tier list.
It's
Lucy Liu.
The point being that Slevin and also what's his
Bruce
face?
Willis and Stanley Tucci.
This film star-studded out of nowhere. Had no clue until I started watching it. I was like, oh my god, okay. So that was interesting. I did not expect to enjoy Slevin as much as I did. And surprisingly enough, I think I agree with you in terms of placement here. I was just surprised that you would even put, I don't know, I thought you enjoyed Blues Brothers more than that. So
but like they're all in that rewatch tier, so it just comes back to, okay, they're all rewatchable to me. Which one did I have zero issue with, and which ones did I have like one gripe with or something? And to be fair, I did have a gripe with Blues Brothers. There's one thing I would change.
Yeah, less Nazis.
Like 100% less Nazis is all I'm saying.
All right. Well, I feel pretty good about that. So next on the list, we've got a classic
Holmes.
that I think
Digging up
most
some
people will have
holes.
seen. Holes. Tell me something about Holes, Justin.
I will say, doing that recording and watching this movie, I'm happy I finally got to sit down and watch the movie Holes in its entirety.
Wild.
I feel like I only ever saw this movie in parts and pieces in my entire life somehow. So I'm glad I got to properly finish this and sit down. I enjoyed it. Is this movie a certified banger?
Oh, man,
you know what? I think I would say Holes is like low certified banger.
Low certified banger.
Okay, Brendan. What's your opinion on Holes?
So I did not watch it, or I did not record with you guys. I've seen this movie plenty of times. I think Holes is an all around really, really good movie, and it holds up through the ages, which is I think the most surprising thing. It, like you would think that a lot of these kids movies from when I was literally in elementary school, that like growing up and like watching it again with like no more rose tinted glasses, that I'd be like, oh yeah, this movie is like fine. But honestly, this movie still kind of holds up. Now, I guess I just don't think it's necessarily a perfect story. No, I don't know if that's. I think it belongs in certified banger. The question is placement, but I think it belongs in certified banger.
At the moment, the lowest placement is like acceptable.
I think I'd put it. Now, I haven't seen the menu. I would at least put it above Godzilla. It deserves a little bit more than the bottom of this tier, because it is surprising how well this movie holds up.
Also, now that I think about it, maybe we shouldn't put this movie below another movie that has Nazis in it. That has like a Nazi subplot. Excuse me.
I mean, Blues Brothers.
I don't think Holes is a Nazi subplot.
Blues Brothers says a Nazi subplot. Holes doesn't have a Nazi subplot.
That's what I'm saying.
They have cowboys.
We should not place a movie free of Nazi subplot below a movie that does have it.
I see.
I think Blues Brothers cemented itself as like the
bottom of banger.
The bottom of banger.
Certified banger. I don't know. I don't know what to do with Holes. I agree that it belongs in banger. Where does it go? My gut reaction was between Godzilla and Slevin.
I can settle for that.
I think I like Godzilla slightly more than Holes. Again, that might just be big monster doing big monster things, but and Holes is good. And it needs to be respected for how well it holds up and the child acting in it, and for how quotable it is on the whole. But I feel good about that. What do you say, Justin?
Sounds good to me.
All right, between Godzilla and Slevin it goes.
Incredible.
Now we've been on a string of some pretty good movies.
Okay. What's this fucking preamble?
Now it's time for a string.
What is this preamble, Christian?
Now it's time for something that may not go over as well, at least for me anyway. We did Bring It On. This one was courtesy of Rin. I think I neglected to mention that Holes was from Twiggo. And as you might imagine, I did Bring It On with Brendan, given his grumbling already about it. What say you?
This guy doesn't understand cinema, man. He don't understand cinema. Listen. I think I love Bring It On. It is not only okay. So I'm gonna give you the Brendan tier list. Hamilton's at the fucking top, and Bring It On is where Hamilton is right now. That's what I'm telling you. That's me. That's me personally. I would rewatch this. I watched this yesterday, and if somebody said, "Hey, we're gonna watch Bring It On," I'd show up, and if they said they want to do a drinking game, I'd be like, "Say less. I'll get the fucking receipts. Don't worry, we'll find it." I love this movie. I think it's extremely quotable. It's so fun. I know you're not going to give it to me. I think I would like you to compromise with me and allow me the opportunity to put it between Slevin and Blues Brothers. But if I can't, you would be doing me a disservice to not at least put it at the highest end of probably Taco's Wreck.
This movie was not terrible, but it wasn't good for me either. I thought this movie was, I think at best, I don't remember exactly what I said in that recording, because so many recordings, but I think at best, this movie is fine. I definitely am not putting it at certified banger between Slevin and Blues Brothers, let me tell you. That is not happening.
Fucking rude, dog. This guy sucks.
I wish I had I seen this movie, but it's been so long that I essentially remember next to nothing outside of cheerleading. That I have no real opinion on this movie. That makes me so sad.
Man, Kirsten Dunst, a girl from that vampire show, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that I don't remember her main name. It's just fucking good, man. You know, like the quotes, the seeds, the bits. I love every bit of it.
Also, before Christian gives his verdict, I went to Google Bring It On just to see if I can jog some actual details in my brain. They made a lot more sequels. Obviously, they probably diminished in quality as time went on.
This is specifically only the first Bring It On, with which I have seen a couple of the other ones, but they're all like bad. So we only talk about this one.
What I didn't know is how many more they made. And how the last one they made, which was in 2022. Blew my mind. It was a
murder one, right?
Directly to TV for the Sci-Fi Network, and it was a slasher film.
What? Yeah. I watched it with my girlfriend. It was bad, dude. It was so bad.
I can't believe they managed to make a dwindling franchise worse. I didn't know you could do that. That's crazy.
I was telling Christian, there's one, I think it's the one that's like All or Nothing or something. It was an ABC Family Direct, and I did watch that one.
I think you're right. I think I remember that. Oh my God.
And the bit in that movie is like, it was like two cheerleading teams opposing each other, but then they couldn't compete at like individually at the upcoming competition. So they had to like merge their teams together, and they were like, I don't want to be on your team.
Solange Knowles is in this movie?
I don't know. But anyway, the bit that they do in that movie is like, one of them sees a roller coaster running, and they're like, oh, I've got the perfect idea for a move. And then they just like swing a girl in like a circle.
Yeah, cool.
Fucking stupid, dude.
Banger cinema, am I right?
I remember the one with Hayden Panettiere. I did not know her her other equal opposite rival, whatever, was Solange Knowles. What?
All right, so anyway, Bring It On needs to be at least top of probably Taco's Rec, and I will not let you do anything else. You are not allowed to put it anywhere else.
It's not better than Snatch, though.
It's better than Snatch. You gotta meet me halfway. You gotta meet me halfway.
I'm meeting you like I'm meeting you like 3/4 of the way as far as I'm concerned.
No, you're not meeting me 3/4 of the way. It's garbage. It beats Snatch, brother.
Fine.
Thank you. All right. That's all I needed.
That's fine. Just know I'm not happy about it.
That's fine. You know, honestly, that makes it even better.
Fuck me. Okay. The next film uplifted my spirits much more than Bring It On Cheerleading did. It was 12 Angry Men that I recorded with Justin. And this came to us from Twiggo. Justin, tell me how you feel about 12 Angry Men.
Good, enjoyable watch. It's probably a Taco Rec. I think it's like perfectly middle of the road.
Wow, really?
I feel like I should place it lower, but I feel like I'm being honest. It's just like
wow, really?
That I feel
this
like
is not the take I thought we were gonna get.
I feel like this is drastically against what you said in the episode. I feel like I remember you enjoying this movie.
I mean, I did. I definitely enjoyed the movie. I just, I don't think.
But also, I want to put it at tacos.
But also, wow, you say he just said he'd put it lower.
Oh shit!
Oh,
dude.
that's crazy.
It was a good watch. Would I watch it again? Probably not.
I won't even give you my 2 cents. I've got to let Christian stew this one in for a little bit, because I think his whole fucking world.
I don't know, man. I feel like competition is stiff.
This is surprising to me. I mentioned earlier how there were 2 films that really surprised me this year in terms of my enjoyment, and this is the other one. I walked into 12 Angry Men ready to walk out as the 13th Angry Man, because that movie, when I just looked at screenshots and the overarching plot of it, I was like, this is going to be a slog. And Twiggo said he was like forced to watch it for school, whatever reason it was. And it sounded like he didn't enjoy this film. He was like, if I had to watch it, you guys have to watch it. And I went, okay, fuck. This movie's going to be bad. It's black and white. It's like 120 years old. And it's about guys debating the outcome of a court case. They're the 12 jury members debating the outcome of a court case. And I went, I don't want this. And then I watched it and I went, holy shit. How was this good?
Yeah.
How
right?
was this a good movie? I could not believe how much I enjoyed the film. Is it astoundingly good cinema? No. But for the premise and what they do in the film, it is really good, I think. And I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed it at the end of the relatively short runtime also for this movie. I don't remember this movie being like that long either.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think it's probably like a solid hour and a half, and you're in and out 90-minute adventure. So Brendan, have you seen this film? It sounded like you've seen this movie.
I have. No,
okay,
I have seen this movie.
Tell me what you think.
I don't know if I want to give you that. I want to open that Pandora's box yet. I want you guys to debate this one before I throw my 2 cents in.
I mean, my opinion is that this belongs in certified banger tier. I thoroughly enjoyed my time, and I clearly enjoyed this a lot more than Justin did. I would put this, if it wasn't the gatekeeper, I'd put it at the top of certified banger, but I'll put it right below Hamilton. This movie was great. This movie takes place in one room in real time with one camera.
Maybe I'm too far removed. Maybe, damn, I don't know. In my brain, I'm like, yeah, I remember liking it, but no way it was that good.
I really like this movie. I like everything that it does. I would concur with Christian's current placements. If it was up to me, that's where I would also put it. I mean, it is up to you. You've seen the movie and you're on this podcast giving your opinion. But I wasn't there, and I wasn't there at the recording and stuff like that. I mean, I find what's most satisfying about that flick is exactly what you've already talked about. You go in and you think there's no way this could possibly be good, and then you come out going, fuck, that was intense and really good. And I gravitate to that kind of stuff. Plus, you can also turn it into a straight play. It does have a straight play, which is also very good. I hear. I haven't seen it myself. Imagine that, a movie that takes place in a single room with only 12 people that they turned into a straight play.
A musical. Yeah.
Not a musical, a straight play. Straight play.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
There's no singing. Come on, if I can put some respect. Anyway.
You're right.
I'd absolutely put this between Hamilton and the Menu, but that would be me.
I'm gonna put it there. Unless Justin, if you have any drastic last minute objections here, think it should be lower. Speak now for all of your piece.
I'll trust the crew. Maybe I need to do a rewatch.
I would encourage you to.
I think it's very rewatchable.
At a minimum, go back and listen to the episode and see what you said then. If you don't want to sit down and watch a whole movie,
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I probably said a lot. I was like, yo, this is some astounding political commentary. In the moment, I can imagine myself being way more hyped for this movie on that recording than I am right now in my chair.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of the movie is one guy turning all of the other men to his opinion,
into doubters,
and the doubters, the haters into lovers and believers in the idea that this kid could potentially be innocent of the crime that he committed via very witty and well thought out arguments, and I'm a sucker. I enjoyed it. I would encourage you, Justin, to at a minimum go back and listen to the episode if you don't want to sit down and watch the whole movie, because I think you said a lot more nice things about it at the time than you are right now.
Listen, I'm not saying this movie is bad. I want to make that very clear to the audience. Current Justin in this chair is thinking back to it, and it's like, bro, it's just got to be mid, right? Surely it's a mid movie. It's old as shit. Even if it has all this good commentary, I'm just here like, man, this is a movie you watch in school.
Yeah. No, I
can't wait to hear the distinct gap in enthusiasm between me now and me a year ago.
Yeah. I this isn't even a year ago. This is like 6 months. I think we're in June or July recommendations right now.
I was a different man, man.
Yeah, apparently so. Okay, moving on from that. We've got talk about classics.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Classic.
We've got Scooby-Doo live action from the year of our Lord 2002.
Kids.
That I did with Justin, given to us by Taco. What say you, Justin?
Some things are better off left in the past, in a time capsule. Left in time in memoriam, a fleeting thought in your memory, something to be cherished, but never revisited, because God, this movie is so much worse in 2024. Man, me at 6 years old watching this in theaters was having a blast.
Yeah.
Dude, but now this movie, This movie ain't it, Chief.
May I chime in, Christian, before you give your 2 cents
By
and your
all
opinion?
means.
So I am very acquainted with Scooby-Doo. I did watch it in anticipation of the recording, even though I did not join for that recording. So Where Holes is a movie that I think we all saw as children that holds up. Scooby-Doo, it ain't. But I also find that some of it holds up. Like the chemistry between the characters, I still think is a bit timeless. Is like the overall plot good? No. Is like the CGI good? Absolutely not. But I remember I always thought the CGI was dog shit. You guys were the only ones like, oh, I remember this movie having great CGI, and then I saw it in my screen and it was like, bleh, and I'm like, yeah, no, it was always this bad. It was always this bad. I don't know where you guys gaslit yourselves into thinking that. I guess maybe my 3-year-old.
I was like 7, dog, when this movie came out.
All right, man. Well, 10-year-old me was like, that shit looks bad, but it's still fun, so I'm into it. Regardless,
my eyes hadn't fully developed by then.
I would still say there is a lot of charm in this absolute distress signal of a movie. I would put it at the bottom of probably Taco's movie. I would put it at the bottom of probably Taco's Wreck. That's me.
No, that's too high for me, brother. It's got to be Musical and Friends.
We've got a divide here.
Like, honestly, this movie is kind of so bad. I feel like it should be in Who Funded This, but there's a reason this movie got funded. Like it's good in certain audiences, especially for its time. It was a certified banger. It just didn't age well.
I just feel like we're not putting any respect on the chemistry between these characters. Like fucking Fred and Daphne IRL are fucking married today because they met on this fucking movie.
And I love that for them.
All 5 of the people, well, I guess 4 of the people, then the CGI Scooby, all of them collectively are the only reason I want to watch this movie like today. And it still stands on its own merits with that regard, I would argue.
There are redeeming qualities to this movie, but it's a pretty bad movie. Do I love Daphne slingshot drop kicking a luchador through a ceiling?
That's a great bit.
That was great, and I loved that. And maybe I like Mary Jane, even though I remember that scene where she gets hit by a branch and her like bodysuit or whatever gets misaligned. And you just start seeing the demon eyes in her. That's a little nightmare fuel, but I don't know. I don't know if it's Taco Wreck, bro. I don't know.
Christian, what say you?
It's interesting because I agree with points of both of your arguments. I think this movie has fun dialogue and interactions between the characters, like you said, Brendan, and there is probably the most redemption for the movie through it and the gags that happen with different scenarios that go on throughout the film. But I also agree with Justin that basically everything surrounding that sucks. The plot is bad. me as a mid-20s man now you can see every plot device coming from a mile away, and I feel as though I can't agree that it goes in Taco's Wreck. I also can't agree that with Justin's opinion of Who Funded This garbage. I don't think it's bad.
Like that's that's a thing I feel like opinion wise, but I know it's incorrect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say that is an incorrect assessment. I will put my opinion as Scooby-Doo belongs. I'm gonna say I would probably watch The Outsiders, but not Legally Blonde before Scooby-Doo. I would put it in between those two. I think Outsiders has more redeeming qualities than Scooby-Doo does.
Oh, absolutely.
I think narratively, I have to agree with that assessment, but I'm going to just be so for real. I am not watching The Outsiders before Scooby-Doo. If you gave me the choice between those two movies, it'd be Scooby-Doo in a heartbeat.
That's
Hold
fair.
on, Brendan's kind of right. Because like The Outsiders has actual plot and it's an enjoyable movie, but it's not a fun movie. You know what I'm saying? Scooby-Doo is fun. Like you could watch that again and just tear it to shreds, and that's fun to you. So is it higher than?
But is that what you would do?
I'm not asking myself, and if I'm being honest,
for the hypothetical person's opinion, what would you do?
If I'm being honest, I think I'm with Brendan. I would sooner rewatch Scooby-Doo than rewatch Outsiders.
Okay. I will concede. I'm not that hung up on it. but I would say the opposite personally, but 2 out of 3 wins. Scooby-Doo goes in front of The Outsiders.
I feel like, yeah, if I'm presented with the option of do you want to watch Scooby-Doo or The Outsiders, I feel like more often than not, I am choosing Scooby-Doo. I'd say even like
the problem here is that I already kind of have the minority taken that The Outsiders be this low, so that's part of the problem here.
That you don't think Outsiders should be this low?
No, that I put out that Outsiders is this low because this is my take. This is my hot take.
I see. Well, I think we mostly agreed with that, right?
Yeah, I feel like its placement is correct for the most part.
Yeah, I agree. I think Outsiders is fine where it is.
I did not see Scooby-Doo taking its place as number 1 overall seed, but
But here we are.
top seed of musicals and Friends.
So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next one. Recommendation from Rin, The Last Unicorn, that I did with Justin again. This was...
Ain't no way I know what this is.
This is a series of this. We did 3 movies in a row, me and Justin, and
unprecedented.
I dare say that they went in decreasing quality. Would you say? Would you agree with that?
Oh,
I don't remember much of my thoughts and opinions back then. However long ago this was.
That's not a good start for The Last Unicorn.
That's fine. I got plenty.
I just know me back then probably liked it a smidge more than I do right now, and I do not like this movie. This is who funded this garbage tier, honestly. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's bad.
Brendan, I think I heard you speak earlier, but do you know anything about this film?
No, not at all. I am so sorry. I did not even watch it. I had too much going on at that period of time, and I'll be honest, I took a look at it and was like,
no, that's totally fine. You should never don't touch this film with a 30-yard pole. This movie is terrible.
No, you can put it below Oklahoma. Don't worry. Don't be afraid.
I would, if given the 2, I would watch The Last Unicorn over Oklahoma every time.
I feel like you said that on recording too, actually.
I probably did. I probably said something similar because this movie sucks. I hate this movie too. I want
to say that there's a world where this movie could be rated higher if it wasn't a musical. Like visually, I kind of like it. I think it's got good visuals. I like the animation. It's just everything else bad.
Oh yeah, I disagree with that. I think just about any part of this movie is bad. The plot is boring. The animation is okay. The animation is like kind of cool and holds up a little decently for how old that movie is. That's probably the only concession I will give the film.
Yeah, exactly.
The plot is bad. Yikes. The voice acting is bad. I remember the music really not being astounding either. Also, I mean, there's musical numbers, so already it's a negative downvote for me. And there are questionable actions and themes taken by characters in the movie. Brendan, I'm going to give you 2 pieces of information that will make you hate this movie.
Okay.
1, there is a point where they free a bunch of animals trapped in a magic circus, and one of them is a vulture with tits.
Oh, yeah, that's a choice.
Yeah, that's a choice. It's a harpy. They call it. It's a harpy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like a mythical creature.
Mythical harpy creature, but like really old hag looking one. Not like that woman
not
from
Yu-Gi-Oh! Harpies, May Valentine.
Not sexy May Valentine harpies. Like old hag witch harpies. And 2, in nearly the same sequence, a man gets magically gets tied to a tree, tries to magically free himself from said tree, and instead of doing something to the rope, his magic affects the tree, and the tree turns into a humanoid grandma, and then he gets and then he motorboats tree titties.
What?
Dude, I completely forgot about that.
Brendan, this is a children's movie.
I completely forgot about that.
Wait a minute, that's pasta, baby.
No,
it's not pasta. This is antipasta,
bruh.
This is antipasta.
That's as pasta.
This bumbling fucking idiot warlock motorboats tree titties.
But not for pleasure. It was
no.
The tree was like feeling him up, and he's like, I'd like to be let go.
Entirely accidentally turned this tree into grandma woman. And then gets motorboated.
I want a shirt that says motorboat and tree titties all day, baby.
That's funny. I'm already so not the target audience for this movie.
Right. Yeah. That's
then
fair.
all of this other stuff gets piled on, and I just can't be fucked. The movie was bad, and I needed my time back for this one too.
If only they had a song where they sang about a dude killing himself, then
If
maybe
only.
it could beat
If only.
Dude, I remember watching this movie, and it's not that long of a runtime, but it felt like a drag.
It was a slog, dude.
Dude, it was
anyway,
so
that's enough ragging on The Last Unicorn. Let's move on to a different film. This one given to us by Twiggo. That I recorded with Brendan. It's Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Sorcerer's Apprentice. I
don't know if I ever got to watch this movie back in the day. I'm a little sad.
I think honestly, like, on one hand, it like absolutely probably belongs in Probably Taco's Wreck. But on the other hand, it did have Tesla coils that played Secrets by One Republic, so therefore it's got to be Pasta Piece, baby. It's got to be Pasta Piece.
And Jay Baruchel.
And Jay Baruchel. The Jay Baruchel.
Yeah, who I think we ragged on a little bit in that one.
Well, I did, because I don't know why. I just wanted to give Jay Baruchel shit for no reason.
We just hate Jay Baruchel for some reason.
It has Tesla coils that play Secrets by One Republic. Need I say more? Pasta.
Yeah,
absolute pasta.
Honestly, straight pasta belongs to the top.
No, okay, no, get that fucking down. Get that down from there. Get that down from there. I'm actually all right. So bottom of Prava.
Oh shit!
No.
There it goes. Look at it go.
No, you stop. You bring that back down. You bring that right back. You bring that down here. Okay. Bottom of Probably Taco's Wreck as of right now. That's where I would put this movie.
You're saying bring it on down to the bottom of Probably Taco's Wreck instead? What? Oh, okay, yeah, we'll do that.
No, I didn't say that at all. I never said that at all.
I'm fine with that.
Put that back. You put that back. Put that right back, sir. Fucking piece of shit. Do you agree or concur? Or are you just gonna move shit around our board all day?
This is a perfectly middle of the road. This movie is fun for certain parts and a drag for other parts. I am biased towards my boy Nicolas Cage. Secrets by One Republic being played on Tesla coils is always a bonus. I did enjoy. I remember, and I mentioned this in the episode that I recorded too. About halfway through that movie, I just brain blasted and suddenly remembered that I had indeed watched this movie because yeah. When I went in, I was like, I thought I had not seen it. And actually, it's probably earlier in the film, probably like a half hour in, I think is probably closer. I remembered something happened and I went, oh shit, that, I remember all of this. I think it was Fantasia in the basement where they do the Fantasia, the Disney Fantasia scene in this. I think that was what reminded me. But anyway, yeah, this movie is straight average. I had a good time nostalgia tripping on it, but otherwise it's really not a super compelling film.
Yeah. Would I ever go out of my way to rewatch it? No. Could I rewatch it like as a newbie might? Probably.
If somebody had a great drinking game for this one, I would be down for that too.
Yeah.
It would have to be a really good one though. I don't think this film is like really that good for a rewatch in general.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, all right. Cool. I am moving on now to another one that I went through with Brendan. This one, known as Warrior, given to us by Taco.
Man,
certified banger.
Movie. This is definitely certified banger. Again with placement though, we got a lot in that list right now, but well, thankfully, because we hope that we don't watch fucking dog shit movies.
I don't want to watch bad films, but some people want us to watch bad films.
Right? Yeah. I think The Warrior's at least better than Godzilla. That's my hot take. I want to watch Warrior more than I want to watch Godzilla. I don't know enough about the menu, but I at least place it above Godzilla. So between that and the menu is where I would put it right now. But it is absolutely certified banger.
Warrior we are the target demographic for Warrior. It is compelling emotional subplots that happen for both brothers in the film, and then it's just UFC. It applies to the stereotypical male brain.
I also love Creed
drama
movies. This is adjacent.
What did you say, Brendan?
I said I also love Creed movies, and this is adjacent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Sorry, were you done talking, Justin? I feel like I cut you off.
Yeah, no, I'm good. That's my piece. Warrior certified banger.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. This movie rocked. I had not seen this movie before. I took one look at it.
Nowhere.
really did. I had no idea.
Never even saw like a hint of a trailer of this movie. And then when Taco, it was a Taco Rec, right?
Yes.
Yeah. When Taco said, "Oh yeah, here's a movie called The Warrior that stars fucking Venom guy, also
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. And then to be fair, I didn't know the other guy by name, but Joel Edgerton. Or Edgerton, whatever. I was like, the fuck? How have I not seen? And then Nick Nolte. How have I not heard of this fucking movie? Crazy, dude. Fucking crazy.
Well, you hadn't heard of this film?
Film.
I know Christian hadn't, and I could believe it.
I'd never heard of it. Never even sniffed it out.
Wild. I felt like when this movie came out, I know you guys discussed it. It didn't do well in the box office, did it? I don't remember.
No,
it did not.
Sadly, very sadly.
Yeah, I remember hearing that news, and I was like, "That's crazy," because everyone in my circle loved and talked about this movie like it was God's gift to cinema, and it kind of was for a little bit.
I would have been a part of the statistic to try to get this movie up in box office numbers if I had known just how good it was and how poorly it was doing.
The advertising for this movie must have been garbage, or there must have been like a Disney movie around the corner or something, because like this movie was good. Mm-hmm. I don't know how the people did not hear that message.
Yeah, this movie definitely took me off guard. I figured I would probably enjoy this movie. I did not think I would enjoy it nearly as much as I did. I talked about it in the episode that we did. I came to terms, I think, in that episode that I'm just kind of a sucker for the older sibling looking after the younger sibling in any way that they can sort of trope. I will eat that shit up any day of the week in just about any medium. I really liked this. All three main, I mean, Joel and Tom do fantastic as the two main leads, and then Nick Nolte goes out of this world for his secondary role as the father of these two in this film. And boy, it hit, and
slaps.
It's definitely a certified banger. I'm almost. I'm like low key kind of tempted to put it in the bottom of pasta. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really?
I don't
that much. I mean, I could be persuaded. Honestly,
I'm really looking at 12 Angry Men as the gatekeeper because I can't do anything about Hamilton.
I would watch this movie above 12 Angry Men, even though I do like 12 Angry Men a lot.
That's kind of where I'm at. But I don't know if that puts it just in certified banger above 12 Angry Men or at the bottom of pasta.
You know, I haven't even considered putting it in pasta piece.
Because I would definitely watch this over Hamilton.
Yeah, I'm willing to to bend a little bit. You know, even though I would watch Hamilton 1,000 times before Warrior, but I am an outlier. Okay, you're playing against an outlier, and I appreciate you giving me what I've gotten. I am open to bottom of pasta piece. I feel like that is a fair assessment of this film because I don't know anything about the menu. I would watch it over 12 Angry Men. I would, and I can't put Hamilton.
I think that's correct. I think I'm agreeing with all these points. Additional point or whatever thing in its favor. I now have an agenda to get this movie to become a certified household name. Period. and putting it in pasta piece tier is the first step.
All right. You heard
People
it here
all
first.
over the world.
You heard it here first, folks.
All 100 of our fans of this podcast will listen to this, and at least 20 of them will be like, "I've never heard or seen The Warrior, or Warrior, excuse me." And they will watch it, and they will have experienced cinema, and then they will tell their friends, and then becomes a worldwide sensation over 20 years later.
I think you are correct. I just want to say we are like absolutely the target demographic for something like this.
Yeah.
That definitely. I think
this is dude bro drama all like from start to finish.
It has if you can buy into family drama as a whole, then you like this. Then you will probably like this film.
If you like shonen anime, this movie is for you.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to generalize it a little bit more and not alienate some people. It's got all the aspects of a family drama thing, estranged brothers and a father that just has done such a shitty job raising his kids, and now he's trying to beg forgiveness now. It's just told through the lens of UFC and these two men who compete in UFC. And so that part of it is what's going to end up driving some people away. I think on the whole, for the general public, this probably is just a certified banger. But for us, because it's our tier list, I think this is pasta.
This is actually, I'm going to be so for real. I was not more confident on anything in this tier list than Warrior being somewhere in the high end of certified banger. For it to make it this far, I honestly couldn't be prouder. This is fantastic.
Damn, I had truly. I am the problem here because I hadn't even given it the time of day to consider pasta piece. My brain just knew automatic slot banger.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, brother. Honestly, I'm glad we talked it out because I think in our heart, in our unanimous heart of hearts, this is bottom of pasta at least.
Yeah. All right, great. I love it. This is fantastic. So now,
incredible.
We're gonna take it down a little bit to something that is not gonna be pasta. Spoiler alert.
Well, hold on.
I will not stand for any hold-ons on this one. This is
okay. Here we go.
This is Descendants, the
Disney Channel original movie musical franchise.
Yes,
that I enjoyed. I liked this movie a lot.
Given to us by Twiggo that I recorded with Justin. Please go on.
I enjoyed this movie a lot. I haven't watched a Disney movie forever because I don't know, I'm just busy or whatever. I don't watch Disney Channel, but like this is good. I want to watch the rest of the franchise. Actually, what I want to say is that this is a certified banger.
You're crazy.
But
wow,
the music is a bit lacking for me personally. So I in good faith cannot give a certified banger. This is a solid middle of the road movie. If you like Disney Channel original movies / musicals, this is a good one. I will stand by that. If it's not your jam, you probably don't love this as much, if at all, and I get that. But this is a perfect, probably taco wreck middle of the road.
Brendan, do you have any Descendant opinions?
All right, so I'm just gonna be so real. I did not watch this, but just based on vibes, I would put this between Crank and Legally Blonde.
What?
Just based on vibes. that's all. That's all I got.
Brendan, you got to watch this. You need to experience the drama.
Do I?
The music.
No.
Yes.
I'm not so sure, brother.
Let me wash away your doubts, bro. Just trust.
Let me wash away those doubts.
You will have the same doubts and more by the end of the film. I promise you, Brendan. And you like musicals. I did not like this movie. This movie was bad. I did not have a good time at all with this film. Okay. I shouldn't. Saying at all is a bit disingenuous. There were one or two musical numbers where I was amicable to. They were fun. But however, the overarching plot of this movie was bad. It was just bad.
Yeah.
There was really hardly any plot. Brendan, I don't know what you got out of your 30-second Google search, but for you and the audience at home, this is a movie about the children of
Why do you ask
Disney,
me like this?
Disney villains.
Yeah, I did.
You just said you skimmed it. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right.
For you and the other people at home, it's about the children of Disney Channel villains and Disney movie villains. However, it is, if you take that premise and you imagine High School Musical but worse, you have Descendants.
Bad.
This is Disney's attempt to remake the magic that was High School Musical but put a different spin on it, and it just doesn't fucking work. It is not a good time, and I wanted my time back. I would put this in Who Funded This Garbage.
Whoa!
But I would put this at the top of Who Funded This Garbage, but I know that Justin wants this in Tacos Rex, so I will meet you in the middle at Musicals and Friends, but I will not put it in Tacos Rex. This movie sucked.
Bro, this movie's not that bad. This
movie was bad. I will put
I'll agree to the compromise, but my God.
I will put it anywhere in Musical Friends. Scooby-Doo stays at the front, but I will put it anywhere else in Musical Friends that you want.
Well, I would watch The Outsiders before this, so I think it'd go before Legally Blonde.
Okay, that's fine by me. I think personally, I would probably watch Crank before that, Even not, I wouldn't watch Legally Blonde before it, but
No, you leave Legally Blonde alone. Leave her out of this.
Legally Blonde's fine. Legally Blonde's fine. Actually, you know what? I think I take that back. I think I probably would watch both of those films before Descendants, but because you said that's where you want it, I will leave it there. I recognize that I have the hotter take here in calling this movie bad, so I will leave it right where it is. But I would definitely watch Legally Blonde and Craig first. Moving on to a movie.
We have that on recording. He would watch Legally Blonde.
Dylan, clip that for me. Thank you. All right, moving on to what is the first movie of this tier list that I had both of you for.
Brother, this
Good
was
Boys.
by far the best episode of 2024. I'm not sure if it's the best episode of Band of View history. I love this movie. I love the recording. This is a top of pasta piece for me, bro.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wow. Top of the pasta piece.
This movie had me rolling for hours. I love this movie. This is how they pulled off this genre comedy with this type of cast and somehow maneuver perfectly all of these ethical and questionable like yikesy things, and they dodge all of it perfectly. Pasta piece, bro. Seth Rogen and his crew, mwah, you're geniuses.
Brendan, what say you?
All right. I think there's a good chance that I might have liked this movie the least of the three of us, but not to say I disliked it, just that I don't have as much adoration for it amongst the three of us. I do not think this is a pasta piece. I think it's very, very, very good.
Breaks my heart.
I don't think that it provides. It doesn't provide that the it for me to be like, oh, that's pasta. It's a great flick. Fantastic, super funny. I had a great time. It just doesn't give me that yeah, pasta. I would put this between 12 Angry Men and Hamilton. That's what I would do. I would put it at essentially the top of Certified Banger, but you can't touch Hamilton. It's awesome. You can't touch it.
What do you mean we can't touch Hamilton? This is certainly better than Hamilton. I'll die on that hill.
Absolutely. No. Hamilton belongs at the top of pasta piece, but I'm making a big fucking compromise here, all right?
I'm not willing to touch that anymore. I don't feel like arguing with Brendan because we will go
Rabbit
until
Brendan
the
will
end
make
of
a
time. Wait. I agree with Justin. This movie was some of the best. I don't know. I don't know if it was strictly like the absolute best thing, but it was fucking good. And I this was a movie I had seen before the recording, and I was just as enthralled and having a blast as the second time that I watched it for the recording than I did the first time when I originally watched it. And this movie above basically any of the other ones that we watched, I think literally any of the other ones we watched this year is the most quotable for me. I love quoting.
How dare you disrespect Bring It On like this?
Just about. I will shit on Bring It On at any given moment.
How fucking dare you? Actually,
on a dime. I quote Good Boys just all the time. I think about Good Boys quotes all the time. That Lucas, the
bro, what a goat.
The goat. He almost everything that comes out of that kid's mouth throughout the entire film is so perfectly written and comedically timed. I fucking love it. And there are just so many scenes that, despite the interesting context in which the boys find themselves in, that I die laughing and I have a great time. And I will watch this movie as many times as anyone ever wants me to, because I will enjoy it every time. I feel like I laugh and enjoy this movie as much as I love watching turn my brain off action like in John Wick. Like I've claimed I will watch every John Wick movie until the end of time. I will watch any Good Boys sequels. I'll rewatch Good Boys. I'll consume all of the Good Boys content.
Interconnected universe.
To give it to me. I'm all about it. I will.
GBIU.
I think if it comes down to it, between Iron Claw and Good Boys, I think I enjoy Good Boys more than
like
Iron
we said,
Claw.
Iron Fist, Jesus. Iron Claw, amazing film. We don't want to watch that again. It hurt too bad. I would rewatch Good Boys over and over and over again.
Yeah.
All right, throw me a bone, man. I cannot do Iron Claw to service like this. It does too much right. Please at
fine.
least
I'll
meet
put
me
it right
there.
below. I'll put it right below for your sake.
All right, I can settle on this, but I just that feels way too disrespectful to Iron Claw to say that it got beat out by a coming of age comedy starring 3 tweens.
Hey man, do you think I think this? I think there are plenty of films that go above Hamilton. So
listen, I was like I said, I was just asking.
That's fine. I know in my heart of hearts that this is top of pasta, but for you, I will put it just below Iron Claw.
Like, I understand your opinion. Like, visually, that feels disrespectful. I think a part of me agrees. But those are just the facts in my mind.
And that's okay. We are 3 people with differing opinions, and that's okay. But however, speaking of differing opinions that we probably won't have for this next one, we've got another horror movie that I did with Brendan, came to us via Rin. Also, I think I neglected to mention that Good Boys. We don't even have to fucking
discuss this one. We don't have to discuss this one.
Good Boys also came from Rin. That's all I got.
Okay, my fault. All right, we don't have to discuss this one. This is the bottom of the fucking barrel. Get this shit out of my face.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, that bad?
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is
awful.
The most soulless, lazy, and unnecessary attempt at a funny concept for a slasher movie. It was bad.
That launched its own cinematic universe as
the only redeeming quality that it has is the animatic that they show in the first 10 minutes of the movie, and after that, I wish I just stopped watching.
First 3 minutes.
I was not ready for how much of my time would be fucking wasted. I hate this. I would put this so far below Oklahoma. It should probably be its own fucking tier list, but I know that's not reasonable. So Christian, you gotta help me out here. But it can't go anywhere other than who funded this garbage.
I mean, absolutely. It's not that part's not even a question. The question is, for me, do I hate this more than Oklahoma and The Last Unicorn? You're gonna hate me. You're not gonna like this.
Oh boy, I know where this is going.
I think I would if I would put my enjoyment, the loose quotations around enjoyment, higher than both of those films. I would put Winnie the Pooh at the top of garbage.
Really?
I absolutely I would not watch Oklahoma or Last Unicorn before Winnie the Pooh.
To be honest, I thought you were going to say in between Oklahoma and Last Unicorn because you wouldn't be able to do it to me. And I would be like, okay, we compromise. But for you to even say that it clears any other movie on this list, that's wild to me. I think Blood and Honey has zero redeeming qualities whatsoever, zero rewatchability. You couldn't even make it a fucking drinking game if you tried. You'd have to try really fucking hard. Maybe you get like 3 things you can do.
I can put it between them, but I will not put it below Oklahoma. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, fine. Okay, all right. I mean that's fine. I feel like I'm surprised, but I felt like we were gonna settle here anyway, so I'm satisfied.
Okay.
I'm just surprised that you feel like it's better than The Last Unicorn. This movie's fucking bad, bro.
This movie is fucking bad, but The Last Unicorn is also bad. And The Last Unicorn falls even further outside of the realm of target audience for me. You know, I think at a minimum, I have this morbid curiosity for Winnie the Pooh and the stupid cinematic universe that it spun off.
I hate it. I cannot.
You're gonna hate this too, but the most recent one came out, which was the Peter Pan and Neverland, whatever the fuck, and it is the most highly rated one yet. They have progressively gone up in review numbers.
That's crazy.
I'm thinking we gotta maybe do a little marathon at some point in our lives.
I will not watch those movies on my own accord. No,
I need a reason. I need somebody to like fucking twist my arm and say this is what we're gonna do today.
How much alcohol would you need to agree to
when
this?
When that happens, I will tell them I will not be present for the first Winnie the Pooh. You'll have to skip me. You miss me with that. Fucking miss me with that.
I went through it
once.
Watch
the first cartoon minute and then I'll be done.
Yeah, I will not watch that again. I have no desire. I will watch the others if I am forced in some way, but otherwise it's a dub for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to happier days. with The Last Dragon that I recorded with Justin and was given to us via monetary donation by Taco, who let his Discord shadow Skimpy recommend the actual movie. What say you about Last Dragon?
This is enjoyable. I enjoyed the movie. I think this is certified probably Taco Rec. I think it matches the vibe, it matches the quality of that particular tier. Listen, it's a good movie. It's not amazing. It's not awful. I definitely had like some criticisms in that recording. I think nothing I can remember that I'm just here like I'd be up in arms about. You know, it's a good movie. Good, not great, to quote Michael Wilborn. Or Hamlet, excuse me.
Do you have any experience with The Last Dragon, Brendan?
No, none at all. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. I wouldn't have. This is kind of I guess I'd call it an underground movie, maybe a lesser known movie. Not many people rocking The Last Dragon. It's an old one, and it's got some cult following to it. It was fun. I agree. It's a kung fu comedy movie, you know, where this kid is practicing martial arts like to be like Bruce Lee. Basically, he's the Bruce Lee equivalent in this film. And except it's a predominantly black cast, and we're in we're in New York City, and so it's got this flair for black culture in it, which is fun. It's interesting to watch the sort of mix between Asian kung fu movie and black culture. But I think that I didn't really care too much for the film. It was fun, like I said, had its perks and parts to enjoy, but there were also some boring parts and stuff that just didn't feel very compelling, you know. It's got the gaggy feel to those sorts of comedy kung fu movies, which is nice, and I'm willing to rate it a little higher just for that. But basically everything else about it is pretty middle of the road. So I think I agree in that I put this at Taco's Rec tier and probably the bottom.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Can I tell you that based on vibes, I was like, this looks like a very probably Taco's Rec movie.
Yeah, it's a solid Taco's Rec movie. I went in feeling that way. I came out feeling that way, and that was about as simple as it got for the most part. You know, I think out of most movies that we watched, I probably went in and left with about the same feeling, assuming I hadn't already seen it. Like there were some movies that I had seen, Back to the Future, Godzilla, so on. But in terms of things I hadn't seen before, I went in and came out with basically the same feeling. So that is The Last Dragon. We're on to the final five. It's been
final five.
It's been a long one. It's been a long year, but we're down to the final five. Let's see what we got. Starting off with a little movie known by Death Becomes Her that I recorded with Brendan. Another Rin.
Oh yeah, baby.
Another Rin recommendation given to us by her shadow, and I know a lot of your opinions, Brendan, but let's recant them for the audience here.
So, I'm gonna let the audience. I really like this movie. I think its only flaw is that it takes a pretty long time to get going, but when it finally takes off, it knows exactly what it is, and it is so fucking fun and so funny. I could easily rewatch this flick. As far as where to place it though, so this is where it's kind of hard, Christian, because we're in a bit of a tight spot. I unfortunately am in the position where Bring It On is where it is. I think Bring It On is a better movie than this in terms of rewatchability and fun, but they are very close. Wow. I would be putting both of them in certified banger, but because Bring It On is where it is, I am basically by proxy being forced to put it between Bring It On and Snatch. So that is where looking at this list, that is where I have to put it. But I do think that both of these movies are certified bangers in their own right. And that's just my opinion.
I'm going to ask, even though I probably know the answer. Justin, do you have any opinions here?
No, a friend who was really into this movie said I should watch it, and I did not, unfortunately. But the want is there. It seems like it's worth my time.
It's a blast. I think it's so funny.
I would agree. I think you should invest some time at some point. Set aside the 2 hours to watch the film. It is worth it. Brendan is correct. There is a somewhat steep buy-in in the beginning of the film. It takes nearly an hour to get to the part where I am also having more fun.
45 minutes maybe. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it's somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour mark where there's a very particular thing that happens in the film and it just fucking takes off. And
yeah, like off to the fucking races.
It's off to the goddamn races. And at that point, the movie gets very enjoyable. It's just getting to that point that you're like, okay, I mean, sure. Yeah, I mean, I know we have to set this up, but I wish we could have done it like 15 to 20 minutes faster. But I also really enjoy the back half of this film, the back 2/3 of this film, whatever it actually is. It's a fun time. I enjoy the wild stuff that happens and the interactions between the characters and the very interesting way that the film sort of props up the women, especially because they're the main focus of what goes on in the plot here. Basically, is the stuff that happens to the two main women and then by proxy 1 or 2 others. And it's very fun to watch both of them have this very femme fatale dynamic to them. And watch that unfold in the way it does. I think that I would put this at the bottom of certified banger. I would absolutely watch this above. I would absolutely rewatch this before anything in Tacos Rec for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can compromise just because I want to put respect on Death Becomes Her, but I just feel bad that I'm putting disrespect on Bring It On.
So, I can't see this going any lower for me, really.
All right, I can bend. Death Becomes Her, bottom of certified banger. I'm satisfied with that.
Okay, excellent. I'm glad. Whew. All right, number 4, last of the 4. We've got Idle Hands. Comes to us via Taco. Did this one with Justin. What do you got, Justin? What do you remember?
Idle Hands. Oh, I hated this movie. I remember this movie upset me so much. I was passionately angry about this movie. This movie sucked. I just remember saying that over and over again that I was recording. That movie sucked. This had potential to be a good movie. I want to believe that. And I'm definitely not the target audience for that movie. That movie sucked.
Yikes. You hate to see it.
I think I concur. That movie was not good. I did not. It is a stoner. Do you know anything about this movie, Brendan?
No. I did. I remember the wreck, but I did not take the time to watch it.
It is stoner comedy, something that we are familiar with in terms of Taco's recommendations. Many other ones happened in before this year, and so it was a Taco recommendation that I was familiar with. But I think as far as stoner comedy movies that he has given us, I think that this is easily the worst one. I did not have a good time. The characters there are some gags that are funny. Don't get me wrong. There are occasionally things that happen and are funny, and I can get behind them a little bit. But on the whole, characters just do nonsensical stuff, brainless activities, and almost nothing tends to make sense in that film. I can't even have turn my brain off fun because the people making this movie turn their brains off making it. I have no problems putting this at the top of who funded this garbage. Do you have any?
Man, I appreciate you, because I was going to give this movie way too much credit and say like, oh no, it's I'm not the target audience. It's a little bit better than that, surely.
Thank you. This is
call it what it is, man. It's ours.
This is our tier list, dude. I strongly have dissuaded this entire time. We can talk about what other people's opinions would be, but this is our tier list, and I think this movie is bad.
I still have anger deep inside my soul when you told me that they did like a test with like an audience or whatever. They did like
with the ending,
whatever version of the movie they had at that time. I had a different ending, and the ending you described to me sounded great. And then the audience in that theater booed it. Basically, they're like, no, like make Jessica Alba sexier, do this, do that. And I'm like,
yeah.
hate that movie.
I only vaguely remember what the original ending was supposed to be. They were supposed to still end up in the swimming pool area, but the main guy was going to look more like a hero. However, the test audiences wanted Jessica Alba to get stripped naked more. That was like that's a direct that was a direct quote, Brendan.
Less clothes, please.
And so the filmmakers met them in the middle and just made it so she wore a skimpy Halloween outfit and then got like a lacy nightgown torn off to reveal like her lingerie underneath.
That's crazy.
And then she's tied to a car and almost crushed to death. It was dumb. I hated it. It was not a good time. It's garbage. And so
whoever was in that test audience circa 1990 whatever, I hate you.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you.
All right. It was like late 90s, something like that. All right. Bottom three. We've got Planes, Trains, and Automobiles that I did with Brendan here. This was another taco recommendation. And I think this is going to cause another rift. I think.
I think there might be a rift here. So for those who don't remember, I still find this to be a classic fun comedy movie. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Christian did not have as much lifeblood towards this film. He did not care. Me personally, looking at our list right now, for me, it's between Blues Brothers and Slevin. That's me personally, in certified banger tier. It doesn't need to stay there, but I think that there is a lot of very valuable and fun direction within this movie. Now, also, I on a rewatch, I didn't like it as much as the first time I watched it. I will say that. I feel like there's a chance that this movie might get worse the more I watch it because I get more anxious and I get more annoyed by it. But I'm gonna shelve that, keep the demons at bay and not think about that for right now and just go with my gut. And my gut says I would put this between Blues Brothers and Slevin on certified banger.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
Yeah, no, this movie's not going in certified banger.
Oh boy, here we go.
I didn't like this movie. I wanted to like this movie. It's got that holiday movie charm to it. It's the only movie I've ever seen or heard of that centers itself around Thanksgiving of all holidays, which is fine. Make more Thanksgiving movies. Just don't make them like this. Don't make them bad. I also recognize. I also recognize that I am probably, and this doesn't happen often, I am probably in the minority on this. I think people probably like this movie a lot more than I do on the whole, but I just found myself coming back every time to not liking John Candy's character. I just couldn't there were moments where it starts off okay. He's fine, tolerable, annoying, but tolerable. Even gets better at a certain point. There's the hotel scene where he gets real with Steve Martin's character, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is a respectable lesson of that he's teaching Steve Martin's character, and that's it. It bottoms out from there. It just gets every other action he takes after that point, I just can't get behind. And even the emotional gut twist that the movie gives you at the last 20 minutes of the film isn't enough to sort of redeem his character for me. If it was up to me, this movie would be in Musical and Friends.
Really? That far?
I would put this movie at the top of Musical and Friends if it was me.
Wow, that's why. Yeah, I thought you were gonna say at the bottom of Tacos Wreck, and then I was gonna ask if we can put it above Snatch. But for it to go that far down, that's a little crazy.
I can. That is where I would put it if I was the only one doing this. I know that you probably want this higher. I can move it into Tacos Wreck tier.
I really wanted to at least clear Sorcerer's Apprentice. It's a much better movie than Sorcerer's Apprentice. Come on.
I disagree with you, but I'll do it. I'll put it there.
That is where I would like to put the line. That is my request.
I will put it there, but I don't think this is a Tacos Wreck movie personally. For the sake of meeting in the middle, I will. That's where it will stay.
Fair enough.
But I will not be rewatching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles at any point ever.
Well, again, maybe again, if I watch it again, I might start to believe what you're saying here.
Yeah, and then it'll get added on to the revisit tier list that we do eventually.
Yeah.
All right, so bottom two, we've got our December movies. We've got, actually, I think Heather's was November too, I think. Anyway, Heather's, this is another recording that I brought my sister on for, was Rin's recommendation, though, not my sister's this time. However, when my sister caught wind of it, she was very enthusiastic about watching this film and recording it. So I brought Tina on to record with Justin and I. And Justin, I would like to hear your opinions on Heathers.
I enjoyed the movie. It's a black comedy, so super dark humor and this, or maybe not super dark, but dark humor and this, that, and the other. I remember enjoying the film. I have to acknowledge that I didn't see the musical. I just been listening to it on Spotify, like the tracks, and it basically gets all the plot down, minus something that's not turned to a song. And man, I was surprised your sister disagreed with me when I said this. I think the musical is better than this movie.
Crazy words, by the way.
Yeah, actually,
that's what I said.
And I have to acknowledge that, and that's that. I can't remove that opinion right now. So I have to I'm gonna try and remember what I felt before I listened to the musical. Heathers is good. I think it's middle of the road. It's not the most amazing film you're ever going to watch. I feel like it has a very particular audience for who would appreciate it. So yeah, that's where I'll go.
Brendan, you're familiar with Heathers?
So I admit I do know the movie. I'm going to be totally 100 with you. The last time I saw this movie, I was probably 8 years old. So
okay.
Watching this movie at 8 years old is wild, by the way.
Well, I had an older sister that wanted to fucking watch it, and also my mom didn't realize that this is probably not a movie for tweens, or maybe it's totally a movie for tweens. I don't know. It depends on your perspective. Anyway, I do not remember nearly enough. I mean, I do know the subject matter, and I did listen to the podcast at one point in time. I don't know. Based on vibes, I would put it in probably Taco's Wreck, only because I simply don't remember enough about it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I feel very similar to you both. This movie was not something I would have ever watched on my own. It is not necessarily a movie I was super enthusiastic about watching. And then when I watched it, I felt about the same. I might have even felt worse, actually, to be honest with you, than I originally did go in. Not a whole lot, but when I read the overarching plot, I went, okay, this is going to be this kind of movie, teenage drama movie, whatever. And then it comes in with this bonkers ass plot with Christian Slater's character, and I couldn't get behind it. I did not care that much.
For the record, I bet I would really like it if I watched it. I should probably watch it. I bet this feels like a movie I would really like just because of my tastes.
I kind of don't doubt that. Your proclivities point to I think enjoying this movie more than Justin and I. However, it's got good points. The sort of theme that it's building on with violence in the school systems and troubled teens committing such acts is noble. I like that they went out of their way to try and make a movie to exemplify these sorts of things. I just think that the way they went about it is a miss. The characters and their motivations make little to no sense throughout basically the entire film. One of the most infuriating things is the main woman, whose name I can't recall. Do you remember? I don't remember.
Veronica.
Yeah, but the actress is what I was looking for.
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder. Thank you. Her character just is touted throughout the beginning of the movie as this very smart person, and then consistently makes the dumbest possible decisions throughout the entire rest of the film, just because
this is Winona Ryder. Shit, I gotta watch this.
Just because Christian Slater is hot. And I spoke to one woman about this, in my sister, and all she said in reply was,
well, hold on. Yeah, Christian. No. Yeah, Christian, what you're not understanding is that I can fix it.
Yes, that is exactly it. It is the I can fix it mentality, and I hate it.
I mean, to be fair, if Christian Slater proposes ideas to me with that voice and that face,
all right. Well,
I'd definitely fix it.
Anyway, to conclude this rant, I have another statement from my sister here. Heathers was good too. It's a classic. It really is the poster child of witty late 80s movies. Once again, a movie I've seen before, but not as much as Stand By Me. I don't think I've seen any movie as much as Stand By Me. Without telling her the tiers, I told her to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, and she said 3 or 4, and I will absolutely not be giving it a 4. It is not a certified banger.
It will not be making its way into banger tier.
In my opinion, I would probably put this at the bottom of Taco's Wreck. Well, I can't wholeheartedly say it. I would probably watch Heathers before Bring It On, but
really? That's garbage. All right, fuck this.
However, that doesn't change my opinion. I think I would put Heathers at the bottom of Taco's Wreck. Anyone else got opinions on that before I do it?
None whatsoever.
All right, perfect. The last movie we've done it.
Oh my god, we did it.
We're here. And unfortunately, it's a movie, well, that you two may have seen, but did not record with me, for I recorded Gremlins with one Jordy, and who made his special request to do this one with me, but could not come to this recording. As it wouldn't have made much sense anyway. He's only seen one film. And so I will briefly lead off. I'm pretty sure at least one of you has seen Gremlins, right? I imagine. Gremlins, yes. Popular.
I've never seen Gremlins, and it's one of the movies I want to see. There's so many of these like classic films that I constantly heard about growing up, and I was just like, I just never saw them.
Well,
Gremlins is very classic.
I was with you, Justin. I had heard of Gremlins, but I had not. It was not a movie I had seen in my youth, and so never went back to in my adulthood. I knew of Gremlins and sort of the overarching idea of it. However, I was watching it for the first time, and for the most part, I enjoyed myself. Gremlins is a fun flick. I enjoy the wacky shenanigans that happen in the back half of the movie when we finally get Gremlins. The first half of the movie is a bit not necessarily hard to get to because there are fun moments with little Mogwai, Gizmo in his cute little form, before he gets mobbed on by the other Mogwais. And then once the Gremlins kick in, all hell breaks loose, and I'm enjoying the film a lot more too, because they do some bonkers ass shit with the Gremlins, and the production value of it is fun. Does it specifically hold up? Kind of not really, but it's all practical effects and puppetry, so it was never really meant to look incredible in the first place. It's supposed to look goofy, and it does, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So where are you gonna put it then?
I think my gut reaction is to put this in certified banger. I'd probably put it, I'm gonna say, on either side of Godzilla. I don't know which side quite yet. So either between Godzilla and Holes or Godzilla and the Menu is what I'm gonna say. I can be swayed further, but based on what you say,
I personally think for me, I would put it between Holes and Slevin. I do think this is a classic movie. This is right up there with like Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, all that kind of stuff. But like, I guess I just don't think it's good enough to clear Holes, I guess is what I'm getting at. That's me personally.
Mm-hmm.
So between the two, I would say above Holes, but behind Godzilla. But I would prefer behind Holes, me personally.
I think I'm okay with that. I can do that. These movies are fair in terms of my overall enjoyment. I think these movies are fairly interchangeable. Holes and Gremlins.
Yeah,
they're at about the same level for the most part, I think.
For sure. My God.
All right.
We fucking did it.
We did it, guys. 29 movies, and a litid over 2 hours later, we did it. You know,
I really thought we were going to do it sooner than 2 hours. I'm a fool.
No,
I did not think it was going to be sooner than 2 hours. I was fearing for my life that it would be 3 hours.
No, I knew we wouldn't go that long. I knew we'd be right around here. This is about what I figured. I prepared further movies from pre-2024 just in case, but we basically hit the nail. We went a little longer than I thought. I figured we probably hit like 210, but we're here now, and who knows what this will get cut down to in the first place. I I feel like we've done good work here. On the whole,
I think we did really good work. This is a great tier list.
I'm going to be honest. Walking into this, I did not think we would have been skewed in the positive direction.
You didn't think so? Oh, I definitely thought we would be skewed in the positive for sure.
I might be factoring in movies that I remember from pre-2024 too much, like when I originally was thinking out of it before I made the tier list. I mean, there are. I made concessions here. I think there are more movies that I would have rated lower than movies I would have rated higher. But so maybe I would have had a standard issue bell curve at the end of the day.
Your individual tier list might not be this kind of even distribution, but when you normalize it to everyone's taste,
I think it makes sense that we've skewed positive here.
I just want to say there's only one musical on the upper tier, and you also think it's good. So it's not my fault that we've skewed all these movies that good.
I would have put at least 12 Angry Men above Hamilton. Maybe that's The Menu. A little wild. I would probably have put 12 Angry Men in The Menu above Hamilton in my own tier list.
I haven't even seen The Menu, and that's the craziest fucking take you've ever said to me in my fucking life. Actually, how dare you?
Incredible.
All right, Brendan, Justin, thank you so much for joining me. This was great. We will at some point.
Thank you.
We will at some point do movies pre-2024 because there are a number of them too. I just started with 2024 because it was the first year that we had people supporting us every single month of the year. So I figured we'd start here and then go back. Pre-2024, I think there's somewhere 18 to 20 movies from Patreon producers. So
another decent chunk.
It will be another decent chunk. Go a little bit faster, possibly. I think that one might not go as positively, if I'm remembering correctly.
I also think it's not going to go as positively.
2023 was a dark year in the kingdom.
23 and 22. There's a couple from late 2022 that
I mean, fucking Pluto Nash made the list, dude.
So anyway, if you made it through this whole thing, look forward to that one at some point in the future. Don't know how far in the future, but it'll come eventually. And you can look forward to that. Justin, would you like to do the honors and take us on out of here?
Yes. Thank you for listening to our episode tonight, today, tomorrow, whenever you listen to this. I hope some of you, all of you, have gone out of your way to watch some of these movies. And if you haven't, maybe this tier list incentivizes you to either watch more of these or watch less of them. I don't know. But thank you. If you wish to reach out to us on social media, you can find us at Panda Sightings on Twitter and Instagram. If you wish to send us an email about anything, movies, this, that, and the other, what have you, you can do so at pandasightings@gmail.com. If you wish to financially support us, the best way to do that right now is joining our Discord server. It's also the best way to interact with us and our community. We are transitioning away from Patreon. Discord is just kind of the new thing now. To hop on board, assuming it's available in your country. I don't know if it is. You tell me. Anyway, we also have a Redbubble merch shop. It does not have things dedicated to Panda View, but one day it will. We're working on it. I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
We are working on it.
And it's mostly your One Piece of Lime stuff. And if you watch One Piece of Lime, thank you. We appreciate you. Rate us 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you're on. Feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Whatever you want to do, you can do. The world is your oyster, and I'm just a pearl on it because I'm not fabulous.
Okay.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good line. I kind of like that. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send it to my crush. That. Hey, the world is my oyster, but you're the pearl inside of it.
Let me know how that goes. I want to know if that's useful. If that goes well,
Brendan, do you want to be my crush?
Do you want that? They'll walk up to someone and go, "Hey, you want to be my crush?"
Well, some people might just be like, "Yeah, I would be honored." I would be if someone asked me that.
I think I'd be more honored if you just outright said it, not asked me. If you said I was your crush, then I'd be like, "Oh,
consent
that's
is very important, Christian."
All right. That's it. I'm taking us out of here. Brain fried. Too much. We've reached capacity. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for your support, everyone.
We love you.
Mwah.
Bye-bye now.